Give me 10 minutes, and I'll show you how men fall in love, and why most women never even get close. Before we start, two things. If you want the raw, unfiltered versions of this game, that's on the Patreon. Link in the description. And if you want me picking apart your specific situation, I do coaching now, one-on-one, also linked in the description. If that annoys you, beautiful. Click off and go watch something soft. Now, let's address the obvious. Most of my channel is for men. I used to train them how not to be emotional punching bags. Then suddenly my inbox fills with women asking, "Can you break down how men really fall in love?" At first I thought, why would you ask a former pimp about love? That's like asking a wolf about vegan recipes. But demand is demand. And understand this. I don't do pimping anymore. Prison beat that delusion out of me. I've got a wife, 3 kids, a mortgage, and a back that complains when I tie my shoes. The streets are gone. The game isn't. The psychology stays the same. You might get offended. I don't care. I'm not your therapist. I'm here to give you the playbook. If you don't like it, leave without the Yelp review. Let's start with the first cruel truth. Men do not fall in love with your beauty. They fall in love through their ego and their effort. Looks are the trailer. Investment is the full movie. Every man thinks he's a hunter. What he never realizes is that the only hunt he stays obsessed with is the one he had to bleed a little for. When a man says, "I don't like games," what he means is, "I want everything from you without having to earn it." The same man will chase a woman for months if she knows how to sit in that tension between interest and distance. Not ghosting, not clinging, controlled unpredictability. That's where love starts to grow in his head, in the space where he doesn't fully know if he has you. Here's the psychology. Men fall in love backwards. Women tend to feel, then attach, then justify. Men justify, then attach, then finally allow themselves to feel. He has to build a story in his head about you. I won her. She chose me when she had options. I became better because of her. That story is what he falls in love with. You are the character. He is the hero. If you try to be the hero, he'll treat you like a side quest. And this is where most women ruin it. You meet a man, you like him, and your instinct is to show him you're all in. You respond fast. You're always available. You overshare. You start doing girlfriend-level favors before he's even earned the title. You think you're building a connection. In his head, you just downgraded yourself from prize to convenience. Understand, respect precedes love for men. If he doesn't respect you, he may desire you. He may use you. He may like having you around, but he will never fall. Respect comes from 2 things, what you tolerate and what you require. The women I respect are the ones who can look at a man, see his charm, see his potential, and still walk away when his behavior doesn't match it. That's power. The women I have zero respect for are the ones begging for crumbs from men who already showed them their trash. That's not love. That's a hostage situation you volunteered for. Now for something your favorite romance influencer will never say. Men don't fall in love from sex alone. They fall in love when sex is paired with emotional exclusivity and psychological impact. The sex is just the physical anchor. What actually hooks him is the way he feels around you outside the bed. Respected like a man, challenged like a competitor, seen like a human. There's actual research backing this. In a famous 1997 study, psychologist Arthur Aaron had strangers ask each other a series of 36 increasingly personal questions. then stare into each other's eyes for 4 minutes. Many of them reported feeling intense closeness, even falling in love, just from that structured vulnerability. No sex, no filters, just focused attention plus emotional risk. Men fall in love with the woman who can create that depth without smothering, who can open those layers in him without turning into his unpaid therapist. That's a fine edge. Most women either stay shallow, all vibes, no substance, or go full trauma dump on the first date. He doesn't fall in love with either. You want a formula? I'll give you something close. First, you become rare. Not in an Instagram caption way, in a behavioral way. You're not always reachable. You have an actual life, hobbies, friends, goals. When he texts, you're not pouncing like a starving cat. You respond. You're warm. But you're not clocking his every notification like it's a job. Men fall in love with women whose time feels earned, not owed. Second, you reward investment, not words. Any fool can say, I really like you. Make him prove it. When he puts in effort, plans a date, follows through, shows consistency, you open another layer. More affection, more softness, maybe more access to your world. His brain starts associating effort with reward. That's how habits and attachments form. Third, you become emotionally memorable, not by being dramatic, but by being deeply present. When he talks, you actually listen. You remember the small things, his hated teacher, his secret dream job, the uncle who screwed him over. Then, weeks later, you reference it casually. That quiet, oh, she really sees me, hits deeper than any lingerie. Here's where the dark part comes in. If you do this well, he'll tell himself he chose you. In reality, you selected him, then curated his experience of you. You stayed just out of reach long enough for his ego to engage, then rewarded him in precise doses. Is that manipulation? Only if you're doing it to hurt him. If your intentions are clean and you're respecting his boundaries, it's just strategy. The world runs on it. And to the women who already play like this naturally, I see you. You smile. You listen. You vanish when disrespected. And the same men who swear they don't catch feelings are sitting in their cars replaying your last conversation like a leaked track. You're not cold. You're calibrated. Now, homework. Because watching this and doing nothing turns you into another spectator of your own love life. This week, pick one man you're talking to, or the next one you meet, and change one thing. Slow your responses by 30 minutes to an hour, on purpose. Not to play hard to get, but to remind yourself you're not on-call entertainment. Watch how he adjusts. Does he step up his effort, or does he fade? Either answer gives you information. Second, on your next date or long conversation, slip in one deeper question that cuts past the surface. Something like, when did you feel the most alone in your life? Or, if you could erase one decision, what would it be? Then, shut up and really listen. Notice how he opens up when he feels you're not judging, not rushing, not waiting to talk about yourself. You're building that Arthur Aaron effect in the wild. Third, pay attention to who's investing in you this week versus who's just consuming you. Who actually plans, solves, shows up versus who only shows up when you make it easy. Men fall in love through what they do, not what they say. Stop rewarding the consumers. Start feeding the investors. If this broke a few fairy tales in your head, but turned on a few lights, subscribe. I don't sugarcoat. I don't cuddle delusion. And I'm not here to make you feel better about bad choices. I'm here to give you an edge. If you want the deeper, uncensored breakdowns, the stuff that doesn't survive on YouTube, that's what the Patreon is for. Join it. Links in the description. If you want me inside your specific situation, telling you exactly where you're losing leverage and how to shift it, book a coaching call. That link's down there too. Now tell me in the comments, what's the biggest lie you think men tell about what they want in a woman, and what have you actually seen in real life? Let's see who's really been paying attention to the game.